So, you want to undervolt and overclock your GPU? Well, you have come to the right place. It is actually pretty easy. Let me show you. First, let's start with the software that we're going to use for this. Let's open our internet browser preference. Then we will look for MSI Afterburner. Make sure it's from MSI's website. Then we're going to click download. We're also going to look for Riva Tuner. Make sure it's from this website. And we're also going to click download. Once you've downloaded both software, then please go ahead and install them. Then we're going to open MSI Afterburner. Here, it will tell you everything you need to know about your GPU. But let's focus on the settings first. So first things first, you gotta select your GPU. So you see I have 1 and 2. In my case, 2 is my 5090. So let's select that one. Leave all the other settings just as I have them on the screen. Now we're going to click on monitoring. Here we're going to select our GPU. In my case it's GPU 2, but yours could be different. So we're going to select temperature and we're going to click show in on-screen display. GPU 2 usage, show in on-screen display. GPU 2 core clock. GPU 2 power. CPU temperature also in on-screen display. CPU usage as well. CPU clock. CPU power and RAM usage. Frame rate and GPU voltage. Here you can switch your toggles if you want. I left it in stock just like it is. You can leave the rest just like I show on the screen. And then you can also switch some of the stuff in user interface, which could be the theme. After you pick your favorite theme, just click apply. And then we're going to minimize. We're going to open Riva Tuner. Once Riva Tuner is open, it's going to come with off by default, but we're going to change it to always show on screen display. And then in this slider, I will leave a little bit more than halfway, that way I can see my number is very good. There are two ways of doing this. Let's start with the easy one. First, you're going to open MSI Afterburner. Then you can see the power limit. Bring it down to whatever the recommended settings for each card is. I'm going to leave that on the screen. Then as you can see, we have core clock, but I didn't touch those. I left them on default. But if you want to, you can go ahead and give some higher numbers. Now, for method number 2, it's probably going to sound a little ridiculous, but we're going to go to Google and we're going to type in your card and you're going to ask Google, what is the perfect undervolt and overclocking numbers? And we're going to go from there. So as you can see, our Google results show up. So let's read the AI overview. The best RTX 5090 undervolt and overclock settings generally aim for 0.900 to 0.950 volts at 2800 to 2950 megahertz. That will be our target. On Afterburner, we select our graphics card and open Curve Editor. Here you will see your axis, frequency on the left, and at the bottom, the voltage or the millivolts. Now, let's look for our target, 0.900 millivolts. Now that we found 900, we're going to hold Shift and your left click, bring all the way up to 2800 or as close as possible. Now, from 900 millivolts, you're going to hold Shift and drag all the way to the right. Now, you're going to select any key point on the right of the charge and bring it all the way down. Then, you're going to go to Afterburner and you're going to select OK or the check mark. Now you can see your new curve has flattened out. What that means is that it's not going to get any more power than 900 millivolts at 2800 megahertz of your frequency, meaning less power, less heat. Now, let's put this to the test. Keep in mind and keep checking the numbers above: temperature, power consumption, FPS, and voltage. Those are your most important numbers. So as you can see, as soon as we activated our profile on Afterburner, you can see a significant jump in temperatures. From 74 to 70 and still dropping. We also have less power consumption from 450 watts average to now 355, and from 1.25 to 1.35 volts to 0.875. And still we are running at 260 to 240 FPS at 4K, everything maxed out. That is awesome. Now let's try doing the same on Cyberpunk and see how that goes. So you can see the settings, everything is also maxed out, and frame gen is to the minimum, which is 2x. So you can see our average before opening Afterburner is around 100 to 120 to 130 FPS at 70 to 72 degrees with almost 350, 400 watts. But now let's open Afterburner, select our profile. And now you can see immediately the temperatures drop from 70 to 68 to 65. Also the FPS drop, but it's not too serious. Now let's go back to normal on Afterburner. And as you can see, our volt, we are back to 1.30, 1.25 volts, which means the graphics card is full power. Now, I want to max out this graphics card. Since we have an NVIDIA 50 series, let's put multi-gen frame all the way up. Now, let's open Afterburner again and select our profile. Now with multi-frame gen on, the game actually looks pretty good. It's still hitting 280 to 260 FPS at 4K. Now let's go back, Afterburner, and just reset to compare. If you look at the numbers now, we are already consuming close to 100 watts of difference. We are also getting higher temps. We are also getting 300 plus FPS. Is it really worth it? Do you really need it? If you don't have a monitor that can support that amount of FPS, then it's a waste of power. Well, I really hope this quick guide helps you with the undervolting and overclocking of your GPU. Keep in mind it's always trial and error. If your game freezes or quits, just go back to Afterburner and set the curve 0.5 millivolts higher and try again. Also, in some games you might see a 10 to 15% drop in frame rate, but with better temps and a significant amount of lower power consumption, it's well worth the trade-off. Hope this helps. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace!